What's another thing that people do every morning? Smoothies. We're going to learn right now. Number one, smoothies are made of what?
Fruit and juice or water.
And what else?
Milk.
Ice. Right?
Well,
It's not a smoothie if there's ice in it.
well,
That's
she's,
right.
If there's not ice.
well, she's saying if you use frozen fruit, then you don't have to put ice.
Okay, but here's the
That's
thing.
what
Are we
It's
supposed
cold.
to eat
It's
anything
cold.
cold? No.
Cold is the
So
problem.
this, if you're getting an ice smoothie or frozen fruits, this is contrary to our message. But we've adopted it, have we not?
Yes.
Let's be honest, have we not?
Yes.
Yes, I have too, so I'm not here to step on any toes. Now, I'm going to read you a quote. This is not something we should be doing every day. What was the beverage the Lord gave us?
Water.
Water. And did the prophet of the Lord say, in the fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grape contain all the elements necessary to make good blood?
Yes.
Do we believe that?
Yes, but it doesn't mean you can't use the fruits and the vegetables.
Hold on one second. Hold on just a
I'm
moment.
gonna write that down.
I said there is times where you need to. There is times where... What did Paul tell Timothy when he had a stomach problem?
Drink a little wine.
It was because he had what? A medicinal problem, right? He had a medical condition. He said, drink a little. Now, there was times we see in the Bible they had communion, right? But do we see in the Bible them drinking juice all the time? It's certain occasions, right? We're supposed to be temperate what?
No.
Now let me read to you what Sister White says about this. Because I know these are things that we have adopted from the world and we have brought it into our teaching. And there are people who juice every single day. They drink juice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They do smoothies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But let's listen to what the prophet of the Lord says. This is Counsel on Diets and Foods, page 105. Who believes this? Who believes the prophet of the Lord?
Amen.
If we've been given a message from the prophet of the Lord, should we believe what she says, or should we believe what Dr. Dina Dale says? I didn't hear anyone. What she says, right? So if we have the problem is we don't read our health books. So anything with the connotation of the word health attached to it, it draws us because we're a health people, right? So we start accepting everything that we hear that has the word health attached to it. But a lot of times she says it's contrary to our message. So this is what we're told. Counsel on Diets and Foods, page 105, verses 1 through 2. Had your physical health been unimpaired, you would have made an eminently useful woman. You have long been diseased, and this has affected your imagination so that your thoughts have been concentrated upon yourself, and the imagination has affected the body. Your habits have not been good in many respects. Your food has not been of the right quantity or quality. What is quantity?
None.
And what is quality?
Value of it.
The value of it. Very good. You have eaten too largely and of a poor quality of food, which could not be converted into good blood. You have educated the stomach to this kind of diet. This your judgment has taught you was the best. This your judgment has taught you was the best. Because you realize the least disturbance from it. So people will say, but you know what? I'm not going to eat the grains because I have the least disturbance. So they think because they have the least disturbance, it's the best diet. Or I'm doing this because I have the least disturbance. But listen to what she says. You have educated the stomach to this kind of diet. This your judgment has taught you was the best because you realize the least disturbance from it. But this was not a correct experience. What did she say? It's not a correct experience. Your stomach was not receiving that vigor that it should from your food. Taken in a liquid state, your food would not give healthful vigor or tone to the system. Now let me ask you a question. Is this a liquid state?
Yes.
Is this a liquid state?
Yes.
Let me keep reading.
That was a question I was just writing.
But when you change this habit and eat more solids and less liquids, now I'm not saying don't ever do this. If you have somebody with cancer and they have 3 weeks to live, by all means juice those carrots and the beets, and you get what I'm saying? But for average everyday living, This is not something we should be doing on a continual basis, and I'll continue to read why. But when you change this habit and eat more solids and less liquids, your stomach will feel disturbed. Notwithstanding this, you should not yield the point. You should educate your stomach to bear a more solid diet. She said, I told them that the preparation of their food was wrong, and living principally on soups and coffee and bread was not health reform. That much liquid taken into the stomach was not healthful, and that all who subsisted on this liquid food placed a great tax upon the kidneys, and so much watery substance debilitated the stomach. So
page
what
is that?
organs of the body, that's Counsels on Diets and Foods, page 105, paragraphs 1 through 2. What organs of the body did she say is affected when we put too much liquid food in our body?
Kidneys.
The kidneys, the stomach and the kidneys.
You're talking, but she's talking about someone that does that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because she uses the word most. You're using that type of food. You're eating that more than
Those are your
solid.
meals.
Right, right.
Okay.
Now here's the thing. Are there health gurus in the world today who are focusing on a 90-day juice fast? Are there health gurus in the world today who are focusing on a 90-day smoothie fast? Yes. Is that in accordance to this?
She's talking about liquids that are not helpful, like coffee and tea and
No, if you read,
porridge.
I'm going to read another quote. She even says soups, healthful soups.
She didn't say healthful soups. Is this
No, she talks about even food. She even says foods that are, and I'm going to get the quote. She even says foods that are healthful. Now let me ask you a question. Over the weeks that we've studied, now I know this is a very touchy subject for some people, but we have to go to what the Spirit of Prophecy says, to the law and to the testimony.
Amen.
Now am I here saying never do juicing? No, I love grape juice. I'll drink it occasionally, but it's not something I should I drink 4, 6, 8 glasses of juice a day? No, you're putting a burden on your kidneys. What was the beverage God gave us to cleanse the body?
Water.
The water. Now, are you not taught if you do too much liquid, you can damage the body? Yes. So if you add the juice on top of the water you're supposed to have, you're putting too much work on your kidneys. And even doctors will tell you this. So it's not here to say never juice. But the key is there are health gurus out there who are teaching 90-day fruit fast and 90-day juicing fast and 90-day smoothie. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? It's a burden to the kidneys. You're not getting the solid food that you need. Where does digestion start in the mouth?
That's it.
When you hear those people say, chew your liquids, no, she said eat the roughage food that you have to work that mouth to get that amylase where the digestion process can start and help your digestive system. Is that understandable? Too much liquid on the system is hazardous to your health. Does everybody understand? Okay. And I have more quotes. Hot food, page 106. So, how many did we do so far?
We're
We'll
number
go through
4.
this quickly too. That was number 4.
Yes.
So liquid diets. If you have an invalid at home, somebody who's sick, if they're capable of chewing, don't puree their food. Give it to them in a solid form because you're helping their digestion. But we think because they're in a convalescent or they're sickly, we'll just make it easy because a lot of people don't feel like sitting there and waiting for them to chew everything, so they just put in a liquid state. You're doing more harm for them than you are doing good.
Sometimes they're swallowing, it's a problem.
Right, if the swallowing, if they're having difficulty swallowing, then you may have to do that or make it very soft for them.
Or they
But
got
there are
broken
some
jaws.
people who will just liquefy it just so that they can spoon it down or soup it up or make them suck it out of a straw because they don't feel like sitting there and waiting 30 minutes for the person to chew it up. You understand? Is that understandable? So we want solid foods as much as possible. They're very important for our health. Okay, the other one is hot food and cold food. So I'll read this really fast. Now we covered that already in smoothies, right? They use ice. But does that mean you can't make you a liquid, I mean not a liquid, fruit mixture in the blender that's thick? Can be thick sometimes, but you're not using the ice. If you want that as a treat seldomly, then fine. But we're not supposed to eat anything cold, and I'll read that in just a moment. What's something else that we eat as cold?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. What is freezing temperature? What's freezing?
31 degrees.
32 degrees. That's freezing, and anything below that is considered below freezing. Did she say don't eat anything freezing or don't eat anything cold?
Cold.
That would be 45 degrees is cold, right? If you go outside and it's 45 degrees, would you be cold?
Yes.
Absolutely. So these types of foods, we're not supposed to eat anything that's cold. Let me read this why. 106 paragraph 2 and 3. It says hot drinks are not required except as a medicine. Juicing, except as a medicine. And you have the grape juice and stuff like that occasionally, that's fine. But to do it on a regular basis, no. Hot drinks are not required except as a medicine. So like when you have your hot herbal tea. The stomach is greatly injured by a large quantity of hot food and hot drink. Thus the throat and digestive organs, and through them the other organs of the body, are enfeebled. You get that? So what organs does it eating hot do? The throat and the digestive organs, right? Food should not be eaten very hot or very cold. 32 degrees. In order for something to be frozen, it has to be at least 32 degrees. So even as Adventists, we're eating food items that are very cold, are we not? Yes. Now, I'm not here to step on toes. I ate ice cream. I love ice cream. But we have to follow our message. This is a health message that we have. And God is giving it to us, and He's calling us to do what?
Obey.
Go higher and higher. Now, let me ask you a question. Was it a major thing or a little thing that Adam and Eve did for them to lose their salvation?
A little thing.
It was a little thing. And remember I read today when I read about canola? Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't matter what we eat or drink. It does, because it's a salvational issue. And this is a message being risen up against. People don't want to hear this. But it's the truth, and God's given us a message. Not because, what does Psalms 84:11 say? No good thing will He what? Withhold from them that walk uprightly. So if He's asking us to give it up, it's not good for us, is it? Is it good for us? No. If He's telling us to give it up? Absolutely not. So instead of looking at it as a burden, and the cannot, and I can't do this, and let's say, Lord, thank you, because you want me in the best health possible. We are supposed to be a what Brother Martin talked about today on that hill. What are we supposed to be?
A light.
Are we going to be a light on the hill if we're sickly and we have the health message? No. They're going to say, if you guys have such a health message, why are you sick? Why are you so sick? So we have to be a light to the people. And to him that knoweth to do good and does it not, it's what?
Sin.
So see, those people who only have the nutrition part, they're not exercising. They're still eating the vegetarian ice cream. And God's going to bless them more than us, even though they're eating those things, because they don't know better and we do, right?
That's right.
Yes. So He does it because He loves us.
Good call him out.
Okay. Number 7. Let me read this quote. Pages 106, paragraphs 4 and 5. It says, many make a mistake in drinking cold water with their meals. Food should not be washed down. Taken with meals, water diminishes the flow of saliva, and the colder the water, the greater the injury to the stomach. Have you ever had ice cold water? I have. It's an injury to the stomach.